Welcome, Generation F up. I don't know if you are new or not. Polska is back. Shout out to Travis and the gang. Legendary John Boston is making a presence. Good to see John again. Tom is back. BJ Fornish is here. Salute to you. Europe is in the house. Hey to Brother Rad and all of the MGTOW brothers. Old Christian Henny is back. Good to have everybody. I figured we would talk today about Brifault's law and hypergamy. Once it's understood, it's actually your ticket to freedom. We do not hate women on this channel. We only understand female nature so we can navigate a life due to our choosing. It's really that simple. Once we understand how our brains work and how their brains work, we don't have to spin our wheels trying to force something to happen that's not going to happen, or to fix things that are unfixable. These are what trips men up. This is exactly what trips men up. Thinking they can change their lady by using logic. Thinking that he can keep her engaged in a relationship by the more he does for her. Now we understand emotional equity is not any sort of guarantee for the future of a relationship. In other words, what you did today or yesterday means nothing tomorrow. Unfortunately, that's the cold hard truth. Once you understand that, that is a ticket to freedom. Stay with me. Hypergamy is your friend. If you really think about it, hypergamy is not going anywhere. It never will go anywhere. It's been here from the day of time. Lilith, Adam's first supposed wife in Jewish folklore, monkey branched from him and did not submit. And I'm sure the last couple on earth will do the same thing. But we understand, we do not hate. We understand and we navigate. It's as simple as that. I just made that up. Alex is in the house. Good to see you. David Castro is back. Good to see David. We've got, hope everyone is well. 2 friends of mine got pneumonia. I got a cold and I'm getting over it. Sauna blankets and cold plunges for 300 Trebek. Well, you'll be fine. Hypergamy is like the universe. It never ends. Well said. Nick Vincent is back. Good to see Nick from the UK. We got some brothers from the UK. Tim from Bristol. Bristol, England. Our English brothers. Make sure you take your vitamins. Big Vegas 05. You know, my half of my family is from the English area, and I take great honor by having my bloodline go all the way back to King James. Polo is in the house. Big Vegas, good to see you. Red pill is light. Blue pill is darkness. Couldn't have said it better. We got hypergamy shows that a man can build a family with a modern woman. She is always looking for the better deal. Women disagree with Briffault's law. Of course they do. Anything that doesn't follow the narrative is always going to be a disagreement. Now let's talk about who Robert Briffault was. Robert Briffault continues with 3 main concepts of Briffault's law. I'm going to say them. Even though a woman has accrued past benefits from her relationship with a man, there is no guarantee of her continuing the relationship with him. Translation is, what have you done for me lately? There is no guarantee what you did yesterday will filter over today. Number 2, if a woman promises a man to continue her relationship with him in the future in exchange for a benefit received from him today, her promise becomes null and void as soon as the benefits are rendered. In other words, I will gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger that I'll eat today. Number 3, a man's promise of a future benefit has ability to secure a continuing relationship with a woman. And his promise carries weight with her only to the extent that women wait for the benefit and that the benefit is short, and to the extent that she trusts him to keep his promise. Now, we understand that. If we accept Briffault's law at face value, women derive diminishing marginal utility from their relationships with men after acquiring the desired benefits. Quite the romantic, aren't they, women? Now, let's just understand that. So whatever you do today, thinking you're going to get something in return is not correct thinking for 98% of the women. It's really not. This is where men trip up. They think they can continue to make women love them, want to be with them, submit to them, but we know that their brains are wired differently. Liv says, was your ex-wife white? Caucasian. Where's Liv from? UK sucks. I was at London. It's bad, no offense. A lot of my bands are from London that I really love, but I don't know if I'd spend a lot of time there. Maybe a week in England. Are we doing Butch? The Butchies for 300 Trebek. I am John said. We just had a blizzard. Be safe out there, John. Good to have you. We just got 8 to 12 inches of snow the other day, and we have more coming. All you climate junkies are probably chomping at the bit to get in front of government to say and to ban all vehicles. Passport bros are victims of hypergamy, and those ultra simps, they got a big deal. They're getting used from these women. Of course, hypergamy knows no borders, nor color, nor race, nor creed. Hypergamy and frame cancel each other out in the end. Mysterio from Winnipeg. Good to see you, brother. Laying it down to Chinatown, 100%. It's so bad with women today. I wouldn't be surprised to hear a woman say, John, what have you done for me next week? Rad, nobody can win with familiarity. Well, nobody can win. Familiarity breeds contempt. I've always said that. You can be as useful as possible, but we all know she will get tired of you within days. Jedi Dark Force. And, it goes the same with men as well. Men get tired the same thing. Men get tired as well. I mean, you need to have your own space in life. If you do not have your own space in life, if you're constantly having to maintain your kids, I mean, it's hard for me to be around my sons 24/7. We need our space. And when you have your space, you come back together even stronger. Men build everything. You marry a modern woman and she takes 50% without her doing anything. with clown makeup. All right, we got the wonderful Lesko Brandon in the house. Well, I know who Lesko Brandon is. The government, I like that, want the guys that she rejected when she was younger to come back and take her because the government don't. Governments, if you think about it, government's a polygamist. The government is in polygamy with tons of women providing resources and protection. Good to see you, Jerron. Liv, I'm from Canada. What part of Canada? An ancient philosopher said the oaths of a woman are inscribed on water. Jawara King. You see Jawara. Got your email earlier, by the way. Polo 30s from the UK too. I did not know that. Good to know that. Rad, my ex had high followers on Instagram ever since the cat's out of the bag. It's more than 60% less followers, and chicks are being more friendly, and my ex said it on private. Interesting. Liv says, I am a woman and I watch for fun. I think 3% of my subscribers are women. There's usually 2 or 3 or sometimes, I think I had 1.4, 6 or 7 women in this chat that have showed up. So we appreciate all perspectives here. London. I'd like to go see Salford Lads Club, which is where the Smiths took part in. Why isn't Briffault's law in college? I wonder why. Now, it's interesting. We just understand this. We understand that women have the a strong tendency to continually move up the chain. Now, hypergamy is different. Hypergamy says they're looking for a bigger and better option. I mean, they both have similarities, but there's some similarities between Briffault's law. I think he just details it even more deeper. But hypergamy just basically says she's looking for someone that's higher in a socioeconomic or a way to take care of her better than where she came from. Hence, the surgeon with the nurse, the attorney with the paralegal, the CEO with the secretary. Okay, if you think in those ways. Hypergamy means you can never make her happy. She'll always be nagging and compares you to other men as she divorces you. It's a cycle. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. I mean, but then again, can we make men happy? I mean, what men are very content doing to not having a lot of things, right? We're content by having a nice sandwich, maybe a nice beverage, enjoying some time with our friends, watching some sports, maybe doing some hiking. We don't need a lot. Our brains are different. Joara Gregory can't stop mentioning, I feel bad for the guy, but you know what? You got to choose correctly. Base Camp 2023 meals are coming for Passport Bros. You're absolutely right about that. Guys, you have to understand international travel. Marriage is a contract where the man signs away the rights to half of all he has worked for. He definitely has. Juan Galvez in the house. Good to see you. SD from San Diego. Yo, Rad. No girlfriend gives time for surfing, jiu-jitsu, and peace and quiet. Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, peace, quiet, and freedom is what we seek. And we seek that by navigating female nature. Guys, I'm not a monk. Never professed to be a monk. I definitely respect monks that say I'm not interested in dealing with women. I absolutely understand why. Most women out there are 98% are not worth it. You're going to spin your wheels. I got to switch things up. Damn right you do. And send me that keyboard jingle. I want to put it on the channel. Polo 30. What's Briffault's law? Briffault's law says what you did today means nothing tomorrow. That's basically what it means. But look it up. Or listen to this earlier because I just went through the 3 themes of it. New proof of hypergamy. Did you see the news article? Most young men and women are not. More than 60% of young men are single. Yes, nearly twice the rate of unattached young women. Yes, Harold. Good to see you, brother. I did see that article, I think today or last night. Can't remember. Very, very telling. My boys are in that 60%. Was listening to Ohio Dan from 5 years ago. He's a good dude. I like Ohio Dan. It's worth trying to red pill. It's not worth. Is it worth trying to red pill women on any subject? Consensus was no chance. Simply don't understand. Totally foreign to them. Nick Vincent. And guys, go out and look at the modern day woman. And again, there's the 1% to 2% I give that I think they're decent ladies, but 98% of them are hive-minded. They're wearing the same clothing, the same makeup. They listen to the same music. They do the same things. There's really nothing you can do to change that. Laws that inform men about the nature of the female and how to avoid the snares and traps of the rigged family court system. Well said, Jerron. Sex in the movies was made different. Absolutely. MGTOW Forever is back. Hey, everybody, I got a shout out to MGTOW Forever. No waffling. He was on a stream with Polska and I back when. But check out MGTOW Forever's channel. He's got some videos. Women live on easy mode, men live on hard mode. Correct. You probably get hit on all the time. You're HOT. I'm 26. You know, my daughter's 24, but no, I don't get hit on all the time. Are you kidding me? No one hits on me. I'm in my experience, women love bad boys who are kind and hot when a man put girls in their place. Attaboy. Gone fishing. What's up to you, brother? Good to see you. You've been a while. Rad, met this woman around 8 years younger than me, just argumentative about everything. Can't even deal with her on a slow Tuesday. You know, when you get to that point, I mean, 8 years younger would be what, in mid-40s, right? So you get to that point, it's like they're already tainted. I mean, even men are tainted at this point. Are you kidding me? I'm extremely selfish in a lot of the things that I think now in my life are more important. I mean, we're all, when we get older, as you're young, that's why kids get married so young. They don't know any different. But why would you get married at 50 when you know everything about marriage? No woman, no guy, no matter how amazing you are, it's going to be tough. Familiarity breeds contempt. I hate those videos about being a high-value man. I think it's manipulation. Well, you're absolutely right. I think high-value men could fall 15 rungs down the next day with one bad decision. Timmy Kramer is in the house. I'm in a real estate class with the volume off. Don't get married, men. Well said from my brother, Timmy. A woman I used to hook up 8 years ago loves men who are macho and brave, protected, and bang. I think women like strong men. I mean, let's be real. Do they really want to be with a weak man? I don't think so. What that means is those chicks think they're in a relationship, but they're really just effing those dudes, and that's it. The dude thinks they're hooking up while the chick thinks it's more. Still to this day, even though we know what we know, Men and women are still a mystery to each other. Men less so, but women are a mystery. Actually, a lot of the things on the technology in the last 25 years has exposed more of how women think and act, right? It's gotten worse, but we see it. And it follows back to protection and provision is what they seek, and status, the majority. Every woman I've met has admitted to being on a dating site. They wonder why they are still single, always looking for the bigger and better deal. Do we, you know what, John, you're absolutely right about that, of course. Do we even, at this point, I say to myself, that's okay. That's okay that they can seek a bigger and better deal. Once you know that, why would you invest? Why would any guy invest knowing that that woman could change her mind at any time and leave? Now, a man can do the same thing, but typically doesn't, especially in marriage. Modern women want a 2-in-1 man, an ATM, and a slave. That's why modern women marry at the end of an ultra simp or a blue-pilled Megatron said, absolutely. My ex is with a very, very effeminate simp. And you're absolutely right. Spike's in the house. Good to see Spike. They're here, Rad. She can smell the peace and serenity all over you. I have no, there's some content creators that are friends of mine. They don't allow ladies. I'm fine. As long as, if we're all respectful, that's all I care about. Have you had a woman come and have to fix any machinery for you? What about you for them? Never had. I've had them make food for me and make me dinners and lunches and scratch my back. But typically I'm the one that fixes cars and homes and things like that. Well said, Mysterio. E's in the house. Good to see you. Liv says it's true that women do love strong men. I can't imagine at 26, Liv, what the men are like today. Let's say you like men that are 26 to 36. But still, a lot of those 26 to 36 were raised with very wimpy standards. Be interesting to hear your perspective. Has anyone seen a female over 40 getting married? There are, but they're marrying washed up guys too that are divorced. Modern women don't know what they want. It's like when you send a child to a candy store or the Cheesecake Factory. Anybody been to the Cheesecake Factory? I still order the same thing. Chicken lettuce wraps. There's like 1,000 things on the menu. You just get confused. No, Rad, no women are idiots for making men losers and abusive. The chick recently thought me and her were dating just because I took her out to the bar one night. Of course, she got mad when I told her it's not happening, MGTOW forever. Remember, they want what they can't have. Steve in Arizona, almost missed you, but made it. Good to see you, brother. Always a pleasure to have you in the chat. Check out Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's closely related. MGTOW's solution has a good one on it. I agree with that. MGTOW Forever says, my mom's been divorced 9 times. Dang, she's a pro at it. She's probably got a lot of retirement funds, man. Dang. She beat Elizabeth Taylor. Modern women are 99% narc because they get so much attention and tons of males through dating apps. You're right. A lot of attention. Women love attention. There's guys that love attention too. Remember when you thinking like Don Draper, they go down on you. Don Draper, Mad Men. I like watching Mad Men. I like to hear your comments on it. But you could see hypergamy in Mad Men. Remember when Betty left Don and went for that simpy older man? Provision and protection. Don Draper was a badass. And then he gets with a gal later. I think he married her, right? The brunette in the end. But he's nailing chicks left and right. Although he did go and nail his ex, which when the daughter was at summer camp. If you knew a can of sardines makes you break out in a rash and deathly ill, would you eat it again? Use that imagery. No, you're absolutely right. The reality of somebody in a second or third marriage, the reality, I'm not saying this is 100% concrete, but the reality of someone coming out of, say, a 20-year marriage, 15 to 20-year marriage, and getting back into a healthy relationship, the odds are against you. I would say 99% of that would be failure. All women want Christian Grey from 50 Shades of Grey. Well said, brother. Well said. I agree with that statement. They love. Why do you think Christian from 50 Shades of Grey was so popular, that book series? Apparently it was written horribly. I saw the movie, but I understood it, right? A submissive, more naive, greeny girl seeks this badass dude that's mysterious, rich, and abusive in his own way. Go figure. And it became a huge seller. That chick made millions writing about fantasies of a gal, experiencing leather and whips. The 21 program. What's up, brother? My wife met a guy at a coffee shop while I was working Saturday and had blank with him. Ooh, sorry to hear that, man. But I'm glad you figured it out now and you can have a great life. I've experienced infidelity in my life, so I know what it's like. Do you regret marrying your ex? How could you have chosen wiser at 24? I don't regret it. Yeah, I was telling this to somebody the other day. We had a great relationship for several years, but in the end, it went our separate ways. Hypergamy played a part. I'm not happy played a part. Kids got older. Results oriented is here. Good to see you, man. Good to see you back in the chat. Modern women are broke and are sleeping at mama's house and want to top 1% of men. It seems to be the narrative, doesn't it, Europe? Cheesecake and blueberries. Chase it with espresso. It's divine. I'm 60. The ship is sailed. I've paid my dues with the crazies. I was talking about a friend of mine. He's in town. And I was telling him, look, man, it doesn't matter what age they are. If they've been married or had kids and you're dating them older in life, you have issues. She has issues. You tell me how it's going to work. Prove me wrong. That's going to be my new series. I take a little bit from Crowder. Prove me wrong. Liv says, it's weird. I'm very attracted to guys in their 40s and up. I'm not attracted to guys my age. Be aloof and prioritize yourself first, and women will chase. Coming from a woman in Canada. What part of Canada, by the way? My ex's dad was from Alberta, Lethbridge area. I believe 9 times my old stepdad. I'm still cool with him. Told me 13 times. Either way, my mom is insane. Man, she definitely was a pro at marriage and divorce. If a woman is pursuing you and trust that she stands to gain exponentially more than you from the relationship, anything you give her is a gift. Whatever she gives you is a loan. Ooh, I think that was completely true in my marriage. Taylor Swift gets attention because she's fertile. Not a big fan of Taylor Swift, guys. Not a big fan. She disrespects men. And she's worth a lot of money. So do you tell me I think she's worth $500 million, $490 million. It was when I looked her net worth up. You tell me what kind of guy you can get with that kind of mouthy girl. And she's all about the Skittles world. To all McTowell brothers here in the chat, I saw videos on YouTube where single mothers are crying why they can't get a high value man with 6 figures. Well, Kevin Samuels highlights that all day long. Delusion for 300. Stone Reapers is back. Good to see Stone. Rich was the important part. Replace him with a normal guy and you have an episode of Law and Order. Special Victims Unit. There you go. In my eyes, modern women, very masculine and aggressive. If you say, I want submissive wife, she'll say, no, I'm not your slave. I've seen that. Especially here in the West. Your mom is a serial divorcee just like Pamela Anderson. No disrespect. I did see, Jerron, the Pamela Anderson documentary on Netflix. I thought it was very interesting. In the end, she was married and she said all these things. I don't want to ruin it, but she basically said she was in love with the father of her kids. 50 Shades of Grey confirms what Tom Likas says. Women don't want to be perceived as sluts as they like guys like Christian Grey because they can put the blame on him for being so slutty. I don't think you're wrong, McTuff Forever. I've roasted more than anybody else. Well, Christian Henney says, all women want a man who's in charge, who puts women in their place. Every woman I told no kept calling me, except my wife, my ex-wife. How could remarried couples really work? What would be the connection other than they can't be alone? That's it. That is the exact reason why men remarry. They don't want to be alone. They know it's going to be difficult to make it work. And if you're not having kids, what's the bond? There's no bond. Europe manifestation is a male attribute, always limited but never fully duplicated by ladies. They have to manipulate the man to get the goods. I've seen a lot of manipulation in my life, guys, and it usually comes, 98% of it comes from the opposite sex. Modern women say they want a traditional man. The reality is if you do nothing, zero effort, they will chase you and want to be with you. The moment you give in and go all lovey-dovey with emojis, it's over. Liv, I'm from Toronto. Ooh, that's where Richard Cooper's from. There's no escape from women in the manosphere. I think they're interested in men's issues. They're interested in men's sports, men's gyms, men's everything. They want attention. Well, at least you have a sense of humor about it, but you now know your mom and most of what hypergamy is. That's the female. Yeah, MGTOW forever. I can't imagine he has any desire for marriage. Yep, I hear you, old Christian Henny. Better to be single and have peace than being with a woman and suicidal. Terminate T800 in the house. Good to see you. You couldn't pay me to go out with Taylor Swift. No, not me neither. I know this woman who's living with her mom and has 2 daughters and is 57. She's been on dating site and she is looking for a rich guy. Dating for rich men for 300 Trebek. Has been a serial dater for 10 years. She knows her worth. We need a bumper sticker that says she knows her worth. Right? Let's see. We got Tom says, Toronto is a feminist hell on earth. A lot of liberals in Toronto as well. Megatron is back. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. MGTOW forever. My mom is a typical 5'9" skinny blonde with fake blanks that old men love. She still plays guys at 60, but she looks 50. Well, she's figured it out. Good for her. Her life is meant meeting men and getting married and getting divorced. Or she's still looking for the right one. I don't want to be disrespectful of your mother, but she's obviously hasn't found the right one. Modern women want something serious when they hit the wall or get at least 30 years of age. And by then, what happens? What has she been through up to age 30 if she's dating like a mad gal? Is Mad Men the only way to go in life? Well, he gets married. I think he moves in with a brunette in the end, so no. But before he did that, I think he was, I liked his style. I say all the time, men to create a sugar daddy profile do not respond, but watch the circus come to town from 18 to 6-year-olds trying to get a free ride. I did that, guys. I actually got a sugar daddy account, and they were full of heavies and old ladies. So I must have had the wrong sugar daddy platform. Blank Taylor Swift, she's a pontificating, pretentious, I don't like her. I just can't believe all of her albums, how successful she is. I mean, hey, let's look at the talent. She's talented, right? She's obviously sold tons of millions of records, made millions of money, but her attitude, not a fan. They've created more plantations, so the best way to escape is right away. MGTOW is the answer to modern day feminism. Matthew says, I always enjoy the movie Mean Girls. Attractive men are visible. The unattractive are invisible. What I also liked about it shows how competitive women are with women. I see it in daily corporate. 100%, Matthew. Good to have you. You're absolutely right. Women often refer to men as the help, and that hurts. Well, we're seen as helpers. When a woman tells me she knows her worth, that tells me no man can deal with her. John, you know her worth. Come on, man. She keeps saying she's trying to find the right guy, but all her divorces have been the guy's fault. It's not her fault. She says, you can't make this crap up. Well, you know what? It happens. Women are jealous of men's spaces and won't quit until they destroy them and take them over as Lion of MGTOW says, give them nothing. Well, isn't respect earned? Respect is earned, not given, right? Modern men can't pair bond because of their high body counts, 100%. George P's in the house. Good to see George again out in the UK. Liv says, I'm 5 foot and 90 pounds. The only problem with older guys is they treat me like a kid. Well, hang in there, Liv. What should I do if a woman shows interest in me in real life but doesn't reply to text messages? That means she's not interested in you. She's using you for attention. Can women say sexy from 20 to 90 like Barbara Eden, Dream of Jeannie? There you go. How about Raquel Welch? A feminist is someone who wants equal rights but not equal responsibilities. Well said, Europe, or accountabilities. Every girl that has left me has said the same script, says the unstoppable force. Good to see you, brother. They are programmed. The hive mind, guys, is a big thing. A lot of ladies follow the same thing other women do. Go look on the same TikToks and the Instagram videos. They're all the same exercises at the gym. It's the same makeup they wear. It's the same hair extensions. It's the same music they listen to. It's the same vacations they go on. It's the same twerking they do. It's all hive mind. There's no individualistic women out there. Even today, very few. Okay, again, 1% to 2%. But a lot of these women, especially these Gen Zs, they all wear the mom jeans, the round glasses, the non-binaries, I call them, the goofball haircuts, the goofball coloring. They got fishing tackle on their nose. They're no different. They look identical to everybody else. And there's a lot of guys that follow the same route too. They look identical. They have the same six packs. They talk the same. They act the same. They've got no style either. Red Pill is about you being who you are, regardless of what people think about you. Even my mom has spun herself to feminism. Plan your escape, fellas, if you want to live. Well said, Megatron. Rad, when I told chicks in high school they need to respect me, they laughed and took both their hands and they laughed. There you go, man. I can't imagine. I'd love to go back to high school today. I'd be throwing down like nobody's business. Polska's back, driving home, delivering. I swear, have them look. And they all, there you go. They're all Kim Kardashians. That's exactly who they follow. What kind of man wants a Kardashian? No self, maybe being invisible. Isn't that bad after all? You know, people that have a struggle with ladies, what if you got with a lady that friggin' ran you through the ringer? Maybe it's a blessing that you're invisible at this point in life until you get stronger and stronger mentally, emotionally, financially, spiritually, and physically. I'm a Chad, decided to be on monk mode for 2 years, focus on my health and stacking up my money. Modern women destroy your mental health. I think you're absolutely right, but men don't understand the true nature of how they should be around women, how they should navigate life. Waiting for whoever invents a pill that takes away desire. Yeah, I don't think the desire is ever going away. And I don't think a desire to be with a beautiful woman is a bad thing. You just have to know what you're getting involved. You need to know the risks and the rewards and the return on investment, which is very little. Foreign men ain't breaking their necks to get American females. That should be a sign. There you go, Jerron. Well said, man. Look at you, Ulta Beauty stock. It's on a tear. Lots of makeup being sold. Ooh, great reference, John. Ulta stock or Sephora. When a man earns money, he wants to give the best to his wife, but when a woman wants earnings, she feels she does not need a man. What do you think of groups of women that go clubbing together? Are they looking to bang random dudes? They want attention and most likely will, George. Yes. I would stay away from them. Exactly. That's why chicks love me. I'm my own person and don't care about whatever is popular in society. I think one of the outside of a strong man, women love mystery of a man. They love inconsistency with men. Now, people will not agree with me, but there's lots of experience in my life where inconsistency, well, let's just say part of their parts were not dry. Jake of the year, Lizzo is a 10 in looks. Oh, I'm not attracted to heavy women. I'm sorry. If there's a break-in, if the woman gets a firearm, does some Bruce Lee to intruders, the man will be looked at as a simp. No two ways about it. No exceptions. Well, there's definitely a different scale for both men and women, right? Good comment. Coleman is back. I was just thinking about you the other day. I hadn't seen your headphones, but I see him today. Attaboy. Coleman's been around since the beginning of Rad. Hello, Rad. I love hypergamy. It just shows how loose these glueies are. AZ's back. Good to see you, brother. I would agree with that. Most women have children because it is a biological itch. They don't really care about the future of the kids. I Renegade 3. Definitely, women have that biological clock that ticks. It says, I need to be impregnated to extend our posterity. I wish I was invisible too, chicks. They ask me out and get mad when I say no in the nicest way possible. Well, take it. You know what? That's all right. If a chick wants to go out with you, cool. I mean, I'm not against that. But know what you're getting into. It sounds like you do. Mexican women, I think Mexican Latinas, they have a Latin temper. I think Mexican women depends. A lot of them depending on the bloodline. If you get with a bloodline of more Spanish and Italian blood, I think they're very attractive. I think they're a step up from Western women, but I think the internet is also taking over. And they also, a lot of them still are very religious. So I think religion plays a key part in it. But again, because they're Mexican or Bolivian or Colombian does not mean that they will stick around. AZ says, I love you guys on the stream. Please stay frosty and double up where you are and with who you lay your pipe. Well said, AZ. Well said. Know the risks and the rewards. And I tell you, the risks outweigh the rewards for the majority of them. That will make them worse in my experience forever, says Stone. There you go. I bought a Bartesian Pro cocktail machine, brought my alcohol up to the next level. Interesting, man. So it mixes your cocktails electronically, right? Tom says, if you want to be happy for the rest of your life, go and find yourself a very ugly wife. Ugly women stick around, apparently. Well, maybe not anymore. Who knows in the last 3 or 4 years. Maybe ugly women think that they, I know a lot of heavy women think that they're the cat's meow too. Coleman, what's up to you, brother? Been a while. Yes, women do love mystery and inconsistency. It makes them obsessed, says Liv. And you know what's interesting? A lot of women won't actually say that, but they love it. My sister, my sister, a very attractive gal in high school, still is very attractive today at her age. She loves inconsistency. She loves, I mean, Tom Likas said, hey, if you're an alcoholic, a druggie, a felon, a cheater, a guy that never calls, that makes that woman want you even more. So look at that alcoholism as a positive. Tom Likas said that on one of his channels. I thought it was so damn funny, but it's so true. One can't frame hypergamy. Ooh, I like that, Mysterio. One can't frame hypergamy. No, you can't. I like how you use frame and hypergamy in a nice, solid theme. Greetings to all chasing excellence. Let's see if we pick up the hypergamous on our finishing lines. When you are predictable, they will start thinking they can do better. Absolutely. I remember I went out with a gal and she was telling me all the guys she had dated over like 6 years from her divorce. She said, I go, who's the one that stood out the most? She said, the one that never paid me attention. Just read an article saying 63% of men under 30 are single and said it's because of women's expectations are high. I think expectations are high. I think every woman, 98% of the women that I talk about that are not recommended all want to be Kardashians. What kind of guy can take care of a Kardashian? Well, it looks like all of them that married them can't. They all divorced them. But they also pick weirdos. Modern women have everything, but why are they nagging all the time? I just think that's part of, I don't think women are ever content or happy. In the majority. Lollygaggers driving around. What are you driving, Bob? Who's responsible for getting pregnant, men or women? I say women, hands down. The only way to to get in the door is to open the door. So I would agree with that. Liv says, true fact, men cheat for sex, women cheat because she wants out. I couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. I'm black and I ain't attracted to fat chicks. I can't breathe, says Jerome Markel. Yeah, if she's hot, I get like 90% average chicks ask me out, 10% hot. I don't mind the hot chicks. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. You know, in the end, you know, if you don't want to go out, then tell them no. Then they'll keep calling you, right? See you later, Stone. Modern women are gold diggers. A lot of them are. A lot of them are. We'll tell it how it is, Eve. We'll tell it how it is. George P. says the mind says no, but the body says yes. To chase women, got to control ourselves 100%. It's our biology, George. Have you sat down with your sister to discuss male and female dynamics? No, but my sisters, my at least my younger two, they're very submissive co-pilots. They're like my mother. My older sister divorced her husband. That's a different story. I have the taste for some rice, black beans, a little sugar with some cinnamon. It sounds like a little Cuban to me. Kardashians are harder to keep clean. Best for them to be left alone. Can you imagine what they're going to look like in their 60s? Like, seriously. When you ignore the women and get laid and live nice and clean, there's a free place for you. Happy wife. Happy life, no wife gets 300 Trebek. Driving my Honda Civic, attaboy, good gas mileage. Even big breasts might kill you. You could get suffocated. All right. From now on, invest in what is optional. Sorry, bros, I was using hypergamy as a guy's only happy endings and rent offshore. Well said, AZ. Fun fact of the day, I live in Cali. My sister lives close by. She's got to fly to Vegas to get her fake platinum blonde hair done every month. Oh my gosh. They're definitely loyal to their hairstylists, most of them. Black Pill Neo, you have more peace in your life without women in it. I think you have more peace in your life when you really understand who you are as a man and what you decide is your frontier. And if your frontier doesn't want to deal with ladies, so be it. Brad, when you say hot chicks, I grin and laugh. Hot chicks for 300, Trebek. They know your fetishes and will keep you in line. Women are very intelligent beings. People will get mad at me for saying that. They're very smart. They know how to use emotions. That's a very I would say not intelligent. That's a very clever thing to do. And men fall for it all day long. And when they do, they get into trouble. They could potentially end up financially destitute. They could potentially have alligators chasing them in family courts. They could potentially get pregnant and then deal with 18 seconds of pleasure for another 18 years of life. But understand this and you can have a good life. I made the mistake of dating a chick that wasn't a virgin. Talk about an emotional roller coaster. There you go, Black Pill. Liv says, the guy that can't forget about was the one that never paid me any attention and was very mysterious. He had his own business and was confident and focused on himself. There you go. Exactly what the gal told me, and Liv is definitely clarifying that. Wanting sex is like a daily reset. Men are born with a serious addiction, but most are unaware of this. There's nothing wrong with our biology. There's nothing wrong with women's biology. We just have to learn how to navigate life with it. What do you think was more difficult, your divorced sister or your ex? My ex. My ex for sure. My fetishes won't be human, Megatron. Rad, in my experience, one of my previous chicks said that men who save and protect babes, she said that twice the size of man's. Interesting. Kardashians will look like Madonna at 64. Can you imagine their big bubble butts, their Brazilian butt lifts when they're 65? Females are 100% responsible for SCX. She's the gatekeeper for what goes on and that thing and what comes out. Men have no authority. He has no response. Absolutely. I believe women are the gatekeepers of sex, but men are the gatekeepers of relationships. MGTOW forever is a man of culture. Women in the 60s loving the faded shrunken tramp stamp. Oh, and the tramp stamp that's faded. Ugh. You said it, Tom. Imagine the police doing the police report on how you died. Suffocated by breast matter. I find it cringy seeing couples making out in public. I do too, George. If all men would hold the line, these problems would never exist. The main problem are those ultra simps who pay women in OnlyFans. And, men are the problem. Men have continued the problem and the cycle of this behavior. Now, that's not saying that if men quit giving attention, women would stop. Remember, women do a lot of this for women's attention as well. There's a lot of women that don't get dressed up for men. They get dressed up for women. So when you go to that restaurant and you're with a hot-looking gal, all of the gals are staring at the woman and then they stare at you. Female nature and female psychology is very interesting, but so is male nature and male psychology. Simps are pushing feminism to the next level. The simping must stop. Diva syndrome. It cannot be stopped. Best to be ignored, says Megatron. Well said, brother. Did your sister take your ex-brother a lot of the cleaners? No. No, he was a lawyer, and so they just did it in their house in California after 10 years of marriage. Go figure. Those faded tramp stamps are the equivalent of old gum on the sidewalk, says Manasseh, that you can't remove. Good to see you, Manasseh. Realize that it's never good enough. Just be okay with yourself. Slam Cave's in the house. Good to see you, brother. Check out Slam Cave's channel as well. Rad, have you ever emotionally unloaded on a woman before? Oh, we all have. I'm in the marriage a couple times. But again, learning who you are in your late 20s versus where I am today. Now, here's the deal. If you unload today, knowing what you know, you're an idiot. Because if you're in an argument or you're trying to convince someone of what they did, they done bad to you, ain't going to work. Just man up, own it, and move forward and just say, this is female nature. I saw it front row and center. As long as you know your fetishes, you can have control of both heads, the head and below the belt. Male hypergamy for 300, Trebek. Well said. I mean, there are males that are hypergamous. Look at Leo DiCaprio. He's constantly moving up with a younger chick. A lot of women will trap guys with babies and then try to control them, says Liv. I agree with that. Agree with that, Liv. I don't know how intelligent women are, but manipulation is a natural behavior with them. Jason Reed from Colorado. Well said, brother. Good to have you. I find cringy couples more cringy overall. And I'm not a big PDA person. Do not trust her words or trust her actions, and you see what kind of person she is. David Castro. Well said. The therapist that we were seeing, she was twice divorced herself. She was a woman. She said the same thing. Don't trust words and less than half of what she does. She told me that. Mysterio, I think you could teach real world dynamics. That'd be funny. She is strong and independent and takes money from the government and child support. Yeah. Guys, it's how it's set up. Men are meant to be disposable. Unfortunately, people will argue with me, but show me differently. If the family courts constantly side with the female and the mother, or the man has to basically be an indentured servant, you tell me how it's favorable. For a female, it's all about she can snag to marry her. For a man, it's all about finding a girl worth marrying. Two different things. We all got married, or those that got married wanted to build a family forever. We wanted to build our legacy, our posterity, to grow old with somebody. It's very difficult today. Liv says, I think the maximum time for a relationship is 3 years. After that, the spark goes away. You could be right. I don't disagree with that statement. I would think it might be even sooner, maybe 18 months, 2 years. Brad, if I was a video game director, make Solid Snake, Major Chad, bang them down. There's a simp game that's called Super Mario Brothers. He tries to save the princess, and he dies for her each level. But I saved the princess back in 1990. I won Super Mario. I could get to the 7th level, and there was a pattern to get through the bricks, and you could save it. And I beat that system multiple times. After that time, people start looking outside. Well said, Liv. Well said. Appreciate the comments. Scary to think that an emotional creature can be an emotional cripple, says Slam. Well said, Slam. Not seeing all of the chat, but my family is how I learn women manipulation. I got to witness it as a kid and a teenager. Interesting. I bet you have a lot of experience just watching your mother. 95% of alpha or sigma males will end alone because modern women want a man who they can control like a slave. Now, is there anything wrong with being alone? No. Don't let anybody tell you different. I've emotionally let out on a female that made her even more attractive to me. However, I found out she created that for her own selfish reasons. Interesting. Well, I think going back to that statement, have you ever unloaded? I think women, especially the ones I've known, they love negative and positive attention because it's attention. It doesn't matter what polarity it is. What would you say to a young man dating your daughter if she wanted the scoop on her? What would I tell that young man? Be very careful because she is not one part of the 1 to 2%. And that is coming not from an unloving father. That is coming from a realistic father. My mom is like Tom Brady, but for divorce. She's the Tom Brady of divorce. She's got 9 rings, doesn't she? I've never been married or had kids. That's the piece of knowledge that always stuck with me throughout this journey. That and cohabitation. Fortunately, I forgot to not use women as a therapist yet. Never use a woman for men's advice. If I had words with my mom about suicide and the decline of man, she didn't like the red pill. Reminds me of the song by Blue October, Hate Me. KTRK Radio is back. Appreciate that comment. Appreciate it. Even Duke Nukem is more Chad. Never trust a big butt and a smile, says Duran. X for a reason, show the exit door. Never bathe in dirty water, friends. I will dump a woman before I emotionally unload on her. If you have to emotionally unload on a woman, it's over. And you know what? You didn't learn anything. Do you know how many times, if you really want to unload to a buddy. If you're really upset, unload to your best friend, a brother, a man, not a woman. Women are not equipped to handle a man's emotions. nor are we equipped to handle women's emotions. Liv says alpha male have to stay alpha, don't start showing emotions. I think that's the biggest turnoff for a woman. I think it's biology. You're absolutely right, Liv. When you begin to show emotion, that shows you're weak. That shows you're agreeable. That shows you're not a protector. And a protector and a provider are two attributes that women seek from the day of time to today's day. And so when you emotionally unload, you now have shown that you're not a protector and that you're weak. Hello from Algeria, Rad. What is the deep mindset of walking away? I mean, during relationship and even business. Walking away shows you mean it and that you're willing to stand strong about what you believe. It is a very strong move. If a woman says, I'm leaving you, say, can I help call you an Uber? If you can do that, but what most men do, please stay, I'll change, I'll do whatever you want. If the woman said, I'm not in love with you anymore, I'm leaving, great. I just called you an Uber. I guarantee that psychology, just the psychology, and it's not games, the psychology would make her rethink what she just said. I went with my instinct to break up at ASAP, but got sucked back in due to the bomb sex I was having. Most guys do, Black Pill. You're no different. It's all right. Now you know, deep down, women like the emotional roller coaster of feeling good and feeling bad. There was a study done that women that use, and Liv in our chat today just said that, basically, if you show emotions and you are predictable, you do not wet a girl's panties, basically. You dry them out, they move forward, they're not interested in you. Is Max Payne a Chad? So the best way, and why do you think there's so many women stay with these rotten men that come back and physically hurt them and so forth, emotionally hurt them? I don't know. It's got to be something to do. They're either very mentally weak women or they go back and forth. I've known a lot of women that have stayed that are normal, very successful women that stay with men that are jerks because I think the back and forth, the polarities is what keeps them engaged. It's not a boring relationship, if you know what I mean. Red pill is reality and the blue pill is a Disney movie. Couldn't have said it better. Cars and women, lease, never get stuck with a depreciating liability. Is she Banks from LA? Well said. I never go back to women and never go back to job. Once I'm done, I'm done. Yeah, who goes back to the same job if you left that job? In very few cases, I think it's okay. But for the majority, once you're done, man. They want you to get emotional and angry, and most of that anger is due to her, and most of these guys are gluttons for punishment. Absolutely. Again, it's attention. Just a different polarity of the attention. So your son's going to be solid with women, I hope. Miss Jarrow, I hope. I hope that they I've had some good discussions with them, but we'll see. Real Chad won't make stupid rant videos on why Eminem sucks. Andrew Tate. Gotcha. Real men that are strong and on their purpose are trying to help other men, and they're also trying to help themselves by living the best life that they can. So when you're busy arguing with people and getting in drama issues, you're not on your purpose. You might as well just go get in a relationship with a woman because then you'll have it 24/7. I hate to say it, Rad and Company. I learned the hard way. Even with my mother, I would never emotionally unload on a woman again, even if she is a professional. Yeah. If you're going to unload to a buddy. Yep, 100%. If you've unloaded on a woman, you have lost. Even if you got to that point, right? If she wants to let her go, if one door closed, 1,000 will open. I always said that. Absolutely. I totally believe that. Skin Venom. Where are you from? I'm lucky enough to have learned how women operate at my age of 25. I have my own business, came into contact with lots of women. You must be happier alone in order to not give a flaming fuck, which is the key. You're on your purpose, brother, and you're a young man for doing that. Good for you. Andrew Tate is finished. Don't know a lot, I'm not going to get involved. And he said some good things, but I don't know what his personal life is like. Liv says she will respect you more when you create boundaries. If you go back and forth, she will think you're a pushover. Coming from a woman right there, guys. Max Payne, 1 and 2. Chad. All right, I see. I learned the hard way. I'm 51, post-divorce from a 9-year marriage. We all learn, guys, and let's take this learning and create wisdom and not to repeat the same mistakes. George B., is it okay to say goodbye to a woman in real life if she doesn't reply to? No. I wouldn't even, that's giving her attention, George. You don't want to do that. The best revenge for all situations is show her indifference, 100%. Hate is not the opposite of love. Indifference is. Never make the mistake of talking to a woman with logic. Teddy Boy Smith from the UK. Well said, brother. Most men do what women that Biden did and gave away U.S. weapons to the blank and money to Ukraine and not to blank. Never give power away to a female. It will destroy you. Or anybody in reality. Never give your power away to something that you don't believe in. In fact, never give your power away. Keep it with you. Well said, Gerard. When you grow up with no mom, it's very hard to get emotionally open to a woman. I guess the sex makes you stupid. The sex is definitely the way that men become stupid and stupid and stupider. You are so stupid, or you went to Jupiter. Liv says, you're smart. It's only fair that men know how women really are and vice versa, so we can accept each other to move on. Well said. I mean, men have issues too. I hold men accountable as I hold women accountable. We just say, look, if you want a great life, navigate it accordingly. If you want to navigate to love, that might fail you. In fact, not might, that will fail you. I see what you're saying there, old Christian Henny. My two best channels on YouTube are Rad and Corey Wayne. Love his philosophy as a great negotiator. It's not the same content. Corey Wayne's all right. I mean, if you want to understand more about ladies in the dating market, good for him. There's nothing wrong with him. Again, sometimes the message, even though the messenger might be selling courses on dating and how to deal with women, don't necessarily always shoot the messenger. I do not like hypocrisy, though. So the one thing I do like about Corey Wayne is he's consistent with his message. And, he's not trying to be one side and then play the other like many creators are. It's okay to be ghosted, 100%. If a woman's ghosting you, she's not interested in you. Why would you continue to shake a tree that has no fruit? Modern women don't know no boundaries. If something little happens, she will call the popo. Yeah. Especially in the West. My son was 8 months old when we got divorced. I had to learn how to be nurturing. And that's not something we can as men do. We love in a different way. Women have that nurturing love. And they're exceptional nurturers. Let's be real. Reminds me of what TFM says. Some are like little kids. They will keep pushing boundaries just to see how much they can get away with. 100%. I had a 5-year-old daughter. I had a daughter, guys. She was 5 years old one time, and she threw fits, even though she was the one that stole the toy from her little brother. And then she blamed the little brother, but he was too small to steal the toy back. But again, it's programming. Even the story TV show is a joke. Why Halo sucks. Modern female values. If you've been ghosted, you've dodged a bullet. If a woman ghosts you, that's number one. That's very immature behavior. If anything, just if she says, you know what, I'm not into you. I just don't feel like we're aligned in our traits, and I'm looking for something else. At least she was accountable and took responsibility for it. But women that ghost, don't deal with them. I was thinking of doing that, Rad. Maybe it'll make her feel sorry. But once said it's done, probably not. Why would you want to make her feel sorry? That, again, puts you in a very feminine state. That's manipulation. That's you trying. That's a simp move to do that. Just move on. And if somebody else in your life would be good. That hurt just reading that. What's funny, guys, Elliot Rod and Norwegian blank are simps. A lot of simps, guys, I've said simps are the most dangerous men in this world. When their emotionals take over their logical thinking, they will do unheard of things. Popo with the poo-poo platter, my bad. It's just random. As Rad has said, they are 5-year-olds with breasts. I stand by that, 98%. Been ghosted by close friends for other reasons that wasn't even affecting them. If a friend ghosts anybody, you're done with them. You got to set boundaries, right? What hurts more is the decades of playing the thirsty simp, not just for gals. I was chasing for love and lays, but seeking validations from all women. It's a scam. And I tried to say this, and I had to learn this too in my life. When you seek validation from others, you suffer. When you seek validation from a woman, you suffer. When you try to get a woman to think you're nice or you're apologizing because you want her to be in your life, you suffer. You just need to learn how to say no and cut the cord. My best friend is married. He must ask his wife if he wants to buy something. I know a lot of guys like that. A lot of guys, Europe. Think of women like fast food, here today, gone tomorrow. Remember that bad texter excuse is straight lies. She's just not into you. And that's okay. If a woman is not responding to you and takes days to get back, she's not into you. That's like dating 101. Yeah, you don't want that drama. You know what? You just let her go, George. And if she comes back, be indifferent and don't deal with her. That's not a quality woman. Quality women do not ghost. What's my views on Islam? Don't know much about it, but I know it's a very large, growing religion that's been around for what, 5,000 years, and started with the Moors, but they definitely have a different way of being married and how they work with ladies. Other than that, I know a little bit about Muhammad and the Quran, but not much. Modern women are not modern. They are delusional and live in a fantasy world and searching for the white knight who is 7 foot tall and now needs 8 figures. You hear that, men? What I hate is how when guys are told no, they normally will deal with it. When women are told no, shit hits the fan. We're not equal in how we think, folks. It's all a scam. All of us guys that play the fool and simp, it's ingrained in us. TV and program shows and parents who are programmed. Well said. QS is in the house. In Irad, watching minimalism videos by Aaron Clary makes me realize how little we need to survive. QS. Well said. I'm going to cut this chat off here in the next minute or two. The thing I like about there's some content creators that want you just to make millions of dollars and work your ass off. All we have in life is health and time. And if all we're doing is spending our time making money and not spending it and being stressed out, I don't believe in it. I don't need a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. I'll take a bus in Mexico. I'll eat off the streets. To me, it's peace, quiet, and freedom. Spending money for SEX will never get the win. Ain't that the truth? I'm 39. I'm gone before the feminist deal crashes and burns. I'd like to give me a front row ticket. You will be front row to watch it. Let's see. Donald Trump. Haters don't have ideas to defeat him. Yeah, he's a strong man. Women have no say in Judaism. I did not know that. Flash Gordon or Buck Rogers? I'm going to say Buck Rogers. Islam is 1,400 years old. Christianity is 2,000. Interesting. I thought it was older. I think, wasn't the Moors the initial roots of Islam? Fast food is crude. Eat organic and be your own chef. What we put in our bodies has effects, 100%. Had this one girl who would move mountains for me. She worked 60 hours a week, always made time for me. Actions, not words. That's very rare, my brother. That's very rare. Good to have everybody here. It's been great. TikTok shows how unhappy they are. And we have now technology that shows female nature and male nature. All right, you guys, you've been good. Remember, once you know hypergamy, once you know about Briffault's law, if you continue to play the game, you're going to suffer. Once you know that this is just part of life, you can now navigate and build a life knowing this. If you know that you walk on frozen ice, you have a potential of falling through the ice and drowning. You're not going to walk on the ice, right? Rebel against defeat, chase excellence, masculinity, men first.